Hello spooky bats and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi and welcome. My name is Orphea and today's video is going to be a get ready with me, and this is going to be my holiday look. We are having some of my family members over today. We are celebrating only in very small bubbles, but I wanted to do some makeup for the occasion nonetheless. So I'm going to try and talk to you a little bit about what has happened this year while I am doing my makeup. Something small and makeup related that happened during this year, or not really makeup related per se, is that I had an eye infection, due to which one of my eyelids now is more closed than the other, which highly affects the way that I apply my makeup, the way that my makeup looks, especially with eyeliner. And it's something that I personally find very, very frustrating. I went to see the eye doctor again that I went to for the actual infection, and he told me that there was literally nothing they could do about it, which is extremely frustrating. So I insisted if there was nothing that we could do, because I still feel some pressure on that eye. I just used the Urban Decay primer potion to prime my eye, and now I am going to be using Eternity in a Box as the base shade to cover my entire eyelid in. So yeah, the eye doctor told me that there was nothing they could do. However, he did give me some eye drops with a special product in them that I should use for a month to see if that makes any changes at all. If not, then I should go and see a eyelid specialist if I want to, of course. But he thinks that the only solution to rectify it is to actually have surgery on my eyes, which is not something that I actually want to do. So we'll see how that continues, but I'm actually really not looking forward to that. So since my hair is red, the jewelry I will be wearing is also red. I want to do a red makeup look, of course. So I'm going to be using two shades by Notoriously Morbid. I'm going to be using Boundary Issues, which is a vibrant bright red, and Boca del Infierno, which is a darker red. So I'm going to start with those on my lids. And then the shade I'm going to be using for the inner eye corner is Love of Carnage, which is a high shimmer shade. And then the other one I'm going to be using is 13 Black Rainbows. And I'm going to finish with something very special by Notoriously Morbid, which is one of their crystal toppers. And they are called the Crystal Gem Multichrome Toppers, and I'm going to be using the one in Garnet, which is a red one. So my eyes have been an issue that I've been dealing with this year, because it actually happened last year that I had the eye infection. So it still isn't really solved, which is like fun. Especially if, like me, you're someone who usually does makeup quite often and then you struggle to do it because it's never even. I cannot ever get it to look even remotely even, because my eyelids aren't even anymore, which is, yeah, if you do makeup and your eyelids are uneven, you know what I'm talking about, or if you do makeup, you know what I struggle with. But of course, that's not the only thing that happened this year. We actually moved house. So we moved to this house, this particular house, in March. It is more or less my dream house. It is a rather big house. I have my own studio space, finally, which I really wanted. So yeah, that's one of the good things that happened the last year, is that we were able to move house, because it wasn't sure for a short while if we would be able to move house. The house we bought is actually an older house, which we renovated, and the works weren't completely finished when we moved in, but they were sufficiently finished for us to move in, so that was really nice. So moving into this place has definitely been one of my highlights of the past year. I'm really happy we did it, honestly. It was really necessary as well, because I'm not sure if you know, but I used to live in an apartment, which wasn't a small apartment, granted, but if you go through a lockdown with two people, two cats in a small apartment space, you know that it's not gonna be very much fun. Our two cats, of course, moved with us. I'm not sure if we already had Nova last year. I think we did, because she is over a year old. But yeah, Nova and Lucky are our two cats, and they moved with us. They are adorable, absolutely adorable. But they also cause quite a bit of mischief around the house. Especially Nova. Whenever we leave doors open, she goes wherever she isn't supposed to go. So our cats are only allowed in our living room, but our living room is massive, so it should never actually be a space issue. And they are also allowed to go outside, but we have to leave them outside. So it's not like we have a cat door or whatever it's called, the little like hole that you make in a door to get your cats in and out. It's not like we have one of those, but they are able to just go to the door and let us know that they want to go outside at the door that goes from our living room to the garden. And this house has a massive garden as well, so that's really nice. So yeah, we've been really enjoying living here. So the place that I used to live at, because we bought it so I wouldn't have to pay rent, that I would have to pay alone, so my family helped me with it. But now that we actually bought this house as well, the other house needs to be sold. And preferably as fast as possible, because everything in cost that is double is double, so you have to pay it double as well, which is not easy, especially in COVID times. And I know this video is a bit of a weird video for me to make, because it's just like talking to you. I didn't script this at all. I just was like, I need to do my makeup. I want to make a video for you guys and update you. Why don't I combine those? Because doing makeup tutorials at this point is not something that I enjoy doing because of the eye situation. Then job-wise, I actually quit the job that I had been working at for over 4 years. So I was working at an animal food production company. I worked on the export department, so I had a lot of international clients that I was in contact with, putting their orders in the system, doing lots of things. I went into full-blown burnout because the pressure on that job was just very high. There was too much work for the little amount of people that we were, but they couldn't find anyone, or they weren't actually searching for anyone actively. So yeah, I quit that job with the intent of working 100% for myself. So working for my own company, in which I do photography, YouTube coaching for people who want to start their own YouTube channels. And I also recently added videography to what I do. So I go to people's places, I record their content, and I edit it for them. It's mainly content meant for social media, but also courses and website content, etc. It's not that I planned on doing videography, but since I know how to do it and people actually asked me for it when I was doing their YouTube coaching, then I was like, okay, I will do it for you. And while I started working for myself, the dream job that I applied for the year before that actually became available again. So what did I do? I called the company, because I was still in contact with the company, and applied for that job again. And I was immediately hired. So I called them end of a week, so on a Thursday or Friday. I saw the owner of the company on Tuesday, so a few days later. On Thursday I had my contract, and on Friday I started. So I haven't worked for myself full-time an entire month, because between quitting my job at my previous company and then starting to work for the other company was less than a month. The job at that company wasn't entirely what I expected it to be. Between applying there last year and then going there this year, there were more people in the company. The job was changed slightly, but not in the way that I personally would have wanted it to change. There was a lot of miscommunication, or maybe I should say non-communication. There was very little communication. At 2 points I actually hesitated to completely stop working at that company, and then the third time I decided it was really enough, and I actually quit the job, which was from now a week ago from recording this video. I'm going to try and add just a little bit of black in this look and try and keep talking to you, but I find it very difficult to focus on two things at once, so talking and doing my makeup, but I'm gonna try nonetheless. And the thing is, that company that I worked for from end of April till now was a video production company, and I actually picked up a lot of things there as well. But the thing is, I was hired there as an office manager and not as a video producer, so I wasn't allowed to do any of the video things that they did. which is very frustrating because that's one of the things that I wanted to grow into. Nonetheless, I think the company actually is a great company to work for. If you're actually looking for an office manager's job, then I think you would fit in there great. But I was looking for more than just an office manager's job, which is why I, in the end, decided to quit. And then the question might come, what am I going to do now? Well, I'm going to yet again try and work full-time for myself, which is as a YouTube coach, and I also do recordings of videos for people, so online course recordings, social media videos, YouTube videos, and continue that combined with the YouTube coaching that I already do. So I think it might actually work this time, and I'm actually really excited and really looking forward to it. So December is kind of my preparation month. This is the month where I try and wrap up everything of the last year and then look forward to next year. So that is what I am trying right now. So from last time working with the crystal gem lid toppers, I know that I should first apply them and then do my eyeliner. So that's what I'm going to do. So it is a gel-like consistency, and you should actually use a, what's this called, silicone brush to apply it. And I would recommend taking very little at a time because these are so pigmented. And also you need to let them dry whenever you apply them. So I'm just quickly going to just spread the gel a little bit onto my eyelid. So this is actually a creamy based formula, so it's rather sticky, and it has the flakes of the multichrome in it, which is absolutely gorgeous. And I just like to play around with the brush to actually spread these flecks around, and I actually like to drag them upwards so you can see them all the time whilst I'm wearing it. And this is not meant to be opaque at all. This is meant to show the colors through that are underneath, and then you need to let it dry. So while I'll let it dry, it's gonna crease a little bit on my eyes because of the hood I have and because I don't keep my eyes closed. If you don't want them to crease, then close your eyes and maybe have a hair dryer on it or something. Yeah, I'm going to apply a little bit more just on my lid, but not higher than that. I'm still together with my partner. So we met 2 years ago at this point at a bar that we both frequently go to. And this was pre-COVID times. It was right before the first COVID lockdown. So we met each other and we were seeing each other quite frequently because that's what you do as adults who don't live too far from each other. You see each other a lot. And then we got stuck together in lockdown, so we actually got to know each other really well in a really short time, which actually for me was a good thing, because after my last relationship I have a very hard time trusting people. So the fact that we were stuck together so much in such a short time actually for me was a good thing, so I could get to know him a lot better in short time and avoid having what I had with my ex-partner, that once you start living together things completely change, and that it's not really what you want. So I'm actually happy that it evolved that way. We live together in this house, of course, with both of our cats. So yeah, things have been going great with him, and I couldn't be happier that I've met him and that he is in my life, honestly. So I'm gonna let that dry a little bit. It is going to crease nonetheless on my eyes because of how hooded they are. I'm going to start doing the base of my face. So first I clean off the fallout, but today I don't really have too much, so that's fine. And I'm going to use a primer, and I actually bought this new one by Catrice Cosmetics. It is the Hydro Primer. And at first I thought that I had... my face was actually too greasy and stuff, so I wouldn't need these types of primers. But actually this primer has been a lifesaver to me and to the application of my makeup. And I also have another concealer that actually works really well with my skin now. So first I'm going to just put on the primer and put it where I need it. So I also go slightly, so where I apply the primer mainly, but I actually squeeze out a little bit too much, is in my nose area, and then on my cheeks is also where I apply it, because that's where my foundation tends to make weird things if I don't have hydrated skin, and then also here just right above my eyebrows. That's where I preferably apply my primer. But if I have too much, I will just drag it onto my entire skin. And then I'm taking my foundation that I currently use. It is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless Normal to Oily Skin with Clay. It is color 100 Warm Ivory, and this one actually matches me pretty well. I'm just putting it on my hand. And then with a Real Techniques Beauty Blender type sponge, I'm going to pat it onto my skin. And what I like to do is I apply the product at first and disperse it a little bit. And then I will start blending it out. There we go, back to being pale as a ghost. I know this looks pretty weird right now, but I'm going to set it with my setting powder, then contour and highlight. And in the meantime, I want to talk about my YouTube channel, because I think that's what most of you here are actually excited about hearing, maybe, or I hope at least. So I have been away from my YouTube channel a month this year. So another thing that happened this year is that I lost my last remaining grandparents. So I didn't have my grandfathers for a longer while already. Both of them passed away. My granddad from my father's side passed away 10 years ago, and the one from my mom's side 24 years ago, 25 years ago almost. So I never really knew my grandfather from my mom's side of the family. The one from my dad's side I did know pretty well. But yeah, it's just, yeah, I lost both of my grandparents. I was exhausted from work. I was not sure if I should quit the job or not. It was just a combination of things. And that's when I decided to just take a break, however long was necessary. So after a month I came back. So that's why I've been making videos consistently now, or at least trying to. But I really want to continue this channel into the next year. So I, of course, have a bunch of video ideas that I've written out, but if there's anything that you want to see on my channel, feel free to let me know as well, because it honestly really helps me to know what you want to see, because it's for you that I make these videos. It's not just for me. I mean, of course, I make videos that I think are fun to make or that I like to make. But I also listen to what you want to see. So if there's anything in particular that you miss on my channel or that you want to see more of on my channel, then feel free to let me know. There is, however, one thing, and that is that I am no longer spending money on new clothes. So if you ask me to do Killstar reviews, etc. on the newer collections, that's something that I cannot and will not do. I have decided that I no longer want to support fast fashion, and also in the god scene there is a lot of fast fashion and I don't want to do that. And I forgot to put a little bit of foundation on my ears, so it always looks a bit weird if you have like darker ears and then a pale face and a pale neck. So I will dab just a little bit of foundation on my ears as well. And then of course I still need to do eyeliner, curl my lashes, apply mascara and then do my lips. But doing eyeliner while talking is not something that I'm good at, so I'm just quickly gonna do it, speed it up for you so you don't have to wait as much. I'm quickly going to apply it. The thing is with eyeliner, if you mess up one side, you also have to mess up the other side, so now I don't like the way this eyeliner looks at all, but that happens, I guess. So I'm just going to take a little bit more red eyeshadow and just tap it around to make it blend a little bit more, I guess. Because otherwise it really stands out that I messed up my eyeliner. And I'm also going to apply a little bit more red onto my eyelids, because where the flakes don't stick as well, I just want a little bit more color. Oh, this actually looks even prettier than I thought it would. But I'm having a lot of fallout, which I have to get rid of in a moment. This actually looks really nice with the flakes. Hold on. Whoops. Get rid of the fallout. Okay. And then reapply a little bit of the gel, because now I've covered it with matte eyeshadow, which isn't ideal because if you're using matte over shimmer then it covers it up. So I'm going to take just a teeny tiny bit of the shimmer thing again and just go over it. But this actually looks really cool right now. Okay. Yes. Perfect. Well, not perfect, but good enough for me today, because I'm not going to care too much. I'm also going to drag the leftovers that are on this brush underneath where I just put the way too much, the way too outer eyeliner, just to make it look like I did it on purpose, which I didn't, but like, how does Bob Ross say it? Happy little accidents? Yeah, that's what this makeup look is kind of right now, but it looks fine, I think. Okay. So yeah, for this channel in next year, I'm going to continue making videos. I already have plans for it. I have a lot of videos that I want to make. Everything also depends on how well my business is going, etc. I have a second YouTube channel also in which I do explanations for my business, so I explain things about YouTube. It is in Dutch, however. So if you are a Dutch-speaking person and you want to see that YouTube channel, I will link it here or in the corner somewhere, and I will of course link it in the description box as well. If you want YouTube coaching and if you speak English only, you can also contact me. I specialize in finding very specific niches and helping people find video ideas for it, and just working out a strategy that can work for your social media and for you. And just working out strategies is what I really enjoy doing. So the strategy part of YouTube and video in general for social media is something that I also consult in businesses with. So I'm actually going from being an office manager to doing marketing on my own. That's what it feels like, and it is so much fun. So for my lips, I'm going for a bold red lip, of course. The lip pencil I'm using has been used up so much that I cannot even read the name of it anymore. It is a long-lasting lip pencil, waterproof. I'm not sure if it is Essence or Catrice anymore, because it literally doesn't have anything on the cap. Because it's been used up to a step, I cannot tell you what it is. However, the lipstick that I'm going to be using is one by Notoriously Morbid. And if you have Notoriously Morbid lipsticks, I have a lot of them, then you know that you should shake them up first. The one I'm using today is Retro A Gogo. This one is no longer available, but I will find you something similar from them and list it as well with the used products. There we go, that's it all applied. So 2021 has had a few negatives, but also a lot of positives. Some of the negatives were that I was in burnout, depression, and going in and out of it a lot, actually. I also lost my two grandmothers in less than a month's time. I'm going to try and not cry right now, because thing is, with the holidays, we usually celebrate them with my grandparents or at my grandmother's, and it is the only time of year that I see most of my family. Because of COVID, we haven't been able to the last few years, and I actually feel really guilty about it, that I haven't seen them as much. I know it was for their own safety, but still, I really do miss them, which is hard, and trying not to cry here. So those were the negatives of the year, going from one job then to working for myself into another job in which I felt really bad. But on the positive side, I have been constantly working on my own business. We moved house. I have an amazing partner. We have pretty good health considering everything. Our two cats are in good health as well. So forgot my highlighter. I'm not sure why, but I keep forgetting things in this makeup look today. So I have forgotten to do my eyelashes. I forgot to do my highlighter. My highlighter is empty apparently, almost. Damn it. I'm running out of some of my favorite Notoriously Morbid products, which are no longer available. So I'm going to have to find alternatives for them. The highlight I'm using today is called Echo. It is a more neutral to warm based highlight, but I feel whenever I do red looks, it looks really good. So 2022 for me is going to be the year that I continue to work on my business, and I'm going to try and grow as much as possible with it. I want to wish you, of course, amazing holidays, whatever you celebrate. If you celebrate celebrate it alone with your loved ones. And I hope that 2022 will bring more fun things for us to do. I was really looking forward to going to events again. Unfortunately, that was not possible. In the short amount of time that here in Belgium we had to actually attend events, I attended 2, and it really felt like coming home again. So I hope that even with the new variables on COVID and with everything happening, that we find a solution that can work in the long term, like the flu, because COVID and the flu are quite comparable actually, except that for the flu, most people have their yearly vaccines, especially the people who are most vulnerable to it, and that for COVID, of course, there's a lot more side effects at this point. But I think, or at least I hope, that we should find a way that we can live with COVID in our society, because it's inevitable. We will never fully extinguish it. So I hope that they start taking more actions towards maintenance and less towards lockdown after lockdown after lockdown, because honestly, I don't feel like it does a lot, except of course push people into loneliness, into depression, into burnout, because if all you can do is eat, sleep, work, stay at your own house, maybe go for a walk, especially when it's dark when I wake up and it's dark when I go to bed. And when I still had the job that I had to drive to the office for, I left to my job in complete darkness. I arrived at the job in complete darkness, worked there, had a small lunch break of half an hour, and then when my working hours were done, it was already dark again. So it really felt like I was spending my entire days just working for a company and then going home, eating something, and then crashing in the sofa because I was exhausted. And that's a reality for a lot of people. So I hope into next year, especially with working for myself, that it gets a lot better. Because this week was the first week, or is the first week, that I'm actually going full-time for myself. However, it's a holiday week, so I don't really get to see the comparison between working for myself versus working for a company. However, I do find it easier to get out of bed in the mornings as well. I also feel a lot lighter. So that's of course a positive thing. Let me know how you are feeling, how you are doing, how this last year was for you. Next week's video is going to be a video with tips on how to dress for the colder seasons. I know it's a little bit late, however, I still really want to make it because I have a few basic pieces that I really enjoy that I want to share with you. So I hope to see you next week for the new video. If you enjoyed this chit-chatty get ready with me, then give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I make new videos every week and I would love to hear for every single one of them. Before I end this video, of course, I want to thank my patrons, Anders, Jerry, Jen, JB, Professor Gothic, and Elroy. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. It means the world to me. And of course, to each and every one of you, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week with my new video. Bye!